You know what boycotting is, but do you know who Charles Boycott was? And how this landlord became so despised that he inspired an entirely new form of protesting? Captain Charles Cunningham Boycott was an Englishman who moved to Ireland and began working as a land agent, collecting rent for Lord Erne, who did not live there but owned 1,500 acres in County Mayo, which he rented to tenant farmers. By all accounts, Charles Boycott was a very disagreeable person. He was cold, he was vindictive, and he was born in England. Farming in Ireland during the 1800s was a famously troubled endeavor, and following a very bad harvest, Lord Erne agreed to reduce his tenants' rent by 10%. However, the farmers unionized with the support of the newly formed Irish Land League and made a counteroffer requesting a 25% reduction in rent, which Boycott refused on behalf of Lord Erne. So they put into practice a new form of protest devised by Charles Stewart Parnell. Charles Boycott awoke one day to find no servants in his house or stables, and in town nobody would talk with him or do business with him. Blacksmiths, laundresses, grocers, he became an invisible man with no acknowledgement from anyone in his community. Eventually, he was left with no choice but to leave town, fleeing Ireland to return to England. He hired a carriage to take him and his family away, but no one would agree to drive it, so in the end he left town on an army ambulance. The story was only known locally until Boycott wrote a letter to the Times about his situation, which brought widespread international attention to the matter, and boycotting was born. And boycotting would go on to be used to bring about many mighty and meaningful changes for all sorts of disenfranchised groups.